Hey guys, Ryan from the Poke Chalet. So this thing arrived today. I only got two. The rest did not arrive. So it's very small. So I guess it's just big enough to have the playmat in the deck box. I will be keeping one for myself. But I've come against the challenge where I really didn't get enough. Normally you'd get like 3 or 4 cases of these, and then that would be good for your little store. I believe I'm only getting 2 boxes. So they didn't arrive. My distro uses a shipping company that somehow, even though everything ships at the same time, everything gets delivered at a different time. So that's great. Let's talk about restock. So I had to do a restock only because there was nothing else to buy. Like there was no new stuff to buy. So I decided to buy 151 and Paldean Fates. Now, Paldean Fates, I don't know if it's a really wise decision to buy. Let's see what I got. Ow! So, we got the booster bundles for Paldean Fates. Nice little booster bundle case. Very expensive. I think these were $90 Canadian each. So, that is $900. That's kind of crazy considering when it first came out, I'm pretty sure that was $450. So that has doubled in price from distro to your local store. So thankful, thank to them. So the same is true for this little product, which is the 151 booster bundles. I'm selling these as well. I paid $100 each for these Canadian, which is a lot, but everyone has faith in 151. Eventually, this will be a good deal. It's just right now, it's not. It's basically, this is $1,000 box. That is stupid. $1,000 right here, Canadian, of course. So, yeah, very expensive. That is why your local LGS is charging ridiculous prices, is because they are paying ridiculous prices for modern product. What else did I get? Silver Tempest. Got some booster bundles. That's pretty much all they had from the perspective of good product to buy. So I bought good product. It was very expensive. Crown Zenith. So you're aware of what these things are. These are the Morpeko Premium Collection. So that's the playmat, I think 5 packs. Now, how much did I pay per Morpeko? Those two doubled in price. So for Crown Zenith, I think I paid $85 per collection box. So that's a ridiculous amount for Morpeko playmat. That was kind of a risk I took. I do like Crown Zenith, and it was the only Crown Zenith that was available at distro, so had to jump on it. So things have been slow, as I mentioned, here in Canada, at least for me. I could be an anomaly, but there is still new collectors. There's still people finding the Poke Chalet, and that is a good thing. I am getting some emails. If you watch my videos and Destined Arrivals, definitely send me an email. I have not been responding to, is Destined Arrivals going to be available? In truth, what's going to happen is I'm going to look at all of the people who emailed me about Destined Arrivals. I'm going to see if they have a recent order. If they have an order between now and Journey Together, then I will send them an email offering to sell Destined Rivals. And you know me, I do not, because allocation is a good price, I do make sure that people get a good price. So if you watch the videos, you now know, make sure you send me that email. You know how to reach me, sales@PokeChalet. And let me know they want Destined Rivals. And if you have an existing order, you'll be eligible to buy if you wish. It's the way it's working. It's basically loyalty based, but you know, if you've bought stuff from me, singles, or if you traded stuff in singles, then definitely you're on the list. Don't worry about it. But these these things I cannot offer to everyone. Because if I was to offer these to everyone, I would need about 50 of them. I would say there's about 50 people who wants one of these, and definitely like more randos would want them, but these are 50 solid customers who've asked me, will I get it? And when I only get 10, there's a lot of unhappy customers. A lot of people who feel their loyalty has gone amiss. And I feel the same. I wish I could say, hey, yeah, I got one for you. But unfortunately, I don't. And what's happened is a lot of the other stores, a lot of guys that I know, and I like to talk to other online gaming store people. If you are one, contact me and I'll talk your ear off. So I like to talk about sales and like to talk about product and allocation and all that. So a lot of people didn't get very much at all. So they have not been buying the $1,000 booster bundle of 151 or the $850 booster bundles of Paldean Fates. They have not been buying that. They've been, trying to stock their store by drops in Walmart, picking up stuff at close to retail as possible and trying to stock their store instead of paying these crazy near market prices with their distribution. And as a result, the distribution, I think, is tracking all this stupid stuff. They're tracking how much you spend, and they'll give you based on how much you spend. If you're a good spender, if you're making them money, then they're going to give you more money, more product to make money. And I think this is the crux of the situation. So I don't know if I'm going to sell for the 151 at less than what I paid for it. In theory, that's the math I do in my head. I get 10 SPCs from Prismatic. If I sell them and I make some margin, I could really just cut the prices down on the other stuff and sell it. But then I remain flat. Really what I'm hoping to is that, I'm going to sit on this product. I'm going to put up for sale, but it's going to be at a price that's kind of like, you really need to want it in order to pay that price. You're really almost desperate. And maybe it'll come down. Maybe the prices will come down. And what I'll do is I will dollar cost my way so that I can decrease the price. I don't want to sell at a loss, but I'll definitely sell to break even. And that's pretty much what I have to do. Singles continue to be like the most lucrative aspect of having an online business, and it's also the most work. A lot of people don't do singles because it is so much work, it's so much detail, it's so much precision. For example, you probably watch what's his face? You probably watch man, I can't even think of his name. I'm drawing a blank. So let's say, man, I could see his face, I could see his hair. I can't think of him. This is great YouTube here. So let's talk about a different YouTuber. I'm thinking about Danny Phantom. I wish I was Danny Phantom. I wish I had a lot of product that I could sell at MSRP. But unfortunately, I sold all my product at MSRP, and now I have no product to sell at MSRP. And I must buy from distro in order to sell, and I must sell at market. And this is how poor little me has to sell at market. And I didn't want to have to sell at market prices, but it's basically forced to by the whole situation. So the product that I showed you, it'll be up on the site. It'll be at market prices. Not much. Don't buy it. Hopefully Pokemon prints more and we can get more. But it's now down to it'll have to mature into a decent price because right now it's not. Now, I finally sort of got my location settled. And I started to unpack. my Rubbermaid containers to try to lay out my product, to look at my inventory, and I came across a very challenging situation on my own fault. So two things happened. When I did a reno, and renos are expensive. They're very, very expensive. And throughout the course of the reno, money needs came up, and I had to like take an owner draw out of the Pokemon business, which means I had to take like $5,000 of cash and buy some, an area for my Pokemon business that I didn't previously have. And what's happened is with that, I got a great space, but I had to make these pressurized decisions. And the pressurized decisions to me were like, I didn't know my inventory very well, which is bad on my part. I don't keep all my inventory online all the time. What happened is someone showed up and they're like, do you have any Paradox Rift booster boxes? And I'm like, you know what? I'm pretty sure I have a case and some boxes. And I also have a bunch of like build and battles. That's why I've been selling loose packs. And I went ahead and made the mistake of selling these guys who showed up the Paradox Rift booster boxes. I knew they were going to rip it. They would be much better buying at the cheaper like loose pack rate that I had. But I ended up giving them my booster boxes, thinking, well, I definitely have another case. I definitely have another case somewhere. Another case is definitely somewhere. And now that I've unpacked everything, I do not. I like to keep a case to satiate that need to collect, I was going to do a video about this, but it's basically the desire to hoard. I wanted to keep a case of Paradox Rift to hoard it. And it's gross to say it, yes, but I wanted to have a case on my shelf of Paradox Rift and say, hey, I got Paradox Rift. So I sold it to some guys. All I got left is a single booster box. Actually, I don't even know if I have a single booster box of Paradox Rift. I have booster bundles of Paradox Rift left. Yeah, left. Not what I wanted. I wanted booster boxes anyway. Same is true for something else. I went and during this whole reno, it was like chaos for 6 months. Like my life was upside down. It was both horrible and like a marathon of being drained every single day. And you have to make these decisions like, do I sell this? Do I sell that? And, I sold collection boxes that, I wanted to hoard. I sold like Shrouded Fable, like Greninja collection boxes. I sold basically things that I wanted to have to collect. I sold them. And during the course of that, I'm pretty sure, well, I got a bunch of Paldea Evolved. Paldea Evolved was at a good price. I think it was like $250 Canadian. I'm going to sell Paldea Evolved. And I did. And I remember selling them and thinking, I definitely have another case of Paldea Evolved. So this is not a big deal. I have my case. After I unbox my world, my Poke Chalet, I'm looking at my cases and I'm like, SVO1, SVO3, SVO3. I have two SVO3s instead of an SVO2. I did two Obsidian Flames cases instead of a Paldea Evolved case. And I come to the realization that I did not have what I thought I did in my storage, in my tucked away, in my little hoarder queue. I didn't have it, and I sold it. I sold my Paldea Evolved boxes to people. I needed the money. They were shining in my face, and it had to be done. But now I'm in the situation where I'm missing something from my... I hope to collect a case of each S&V. I really tried to collect a booster box of Sword and Shield. That failed. I do not have Fusion. I do not have Evolving Skies. The two biggest. Guess what? That tells me that Paldea Evolved is going to be the next ridiculously priced set because I have none. And after that, Paradox Rift. It's going to be crazy because I have none. That's how things work. I have a great life, great things happen to me, but also I have to pay for them. I have to like karma. There's a balance, and I'm a strong belief that I have these high swings, and karma will treat me really well, but I gotta suffer in another area. And I think that's what happened. I lost my Paldea Evolved collection. I do not have. I am upset. What can you do? It's gone. So that's the news here at the Poke Chalet. My customers are not happy. I still love taking in singles. I actually like fulfilling singles. I'm like, ooh, that's an interesting choice. Ooh, yeah, you like that card. I like that card too. Um, and I don't take every single card, but I really wish I could. I wish I could take reverse hollows. I wish I could take everything because some of the best cards are actually the windowed cards, the ones with like an art that's left unappreciated. And you see that in reverse hollow, and it's just like chef's kiss. Who cares about all these chase cards and all these alt arts? Sometimes it's just really cool to see that. Oh. So, yeah, enjoying the hustle, enjoying the process. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We'll see you in the next one.